Drake doesn't just not understand black culture, he doesn't understand any culture, because why does he have a video where he's got a bunch of guns laid out in front of him? Like he's got, mob ties, but he's currently trying to deal with that problem in court.
We're not in your mix. We're not in your mix, like, ever. We never want to be in your mix. we don't want.
We don't want to party with you.
We don't want to party with you. We don't want anything from you. Half the time we don't even like your makeup. So it's like,
y'all favorite Twitter pages are being paid to slander clips the week of their album release. Man, I've been waiting to have a conversation with y'all like this for a little minute. So yesterday, Kirko, a famous page on Twitter, posted Clip's upcoming album, Let God Sort 'Em Out, has reportedly surfaced online days before its official release. And they turned their comments off.
In the video, surrounded by a bunch of choppers. You're the Canadian chopper slinger now.
Oh my God.
You the Toronto trigger squeezer now.
Drake just went full action movie in his new music video. Real guns, fake threats, and all aimed straight at Kendrick Lamar. But guess who stepped in to shut that down? None other than Pusha T. After catching a major L in his beef with Kendrick, you'd think Drake would chill. But nope, it's 2025 and he's out here acting like he's ready to pull up for real.
So what then? So what then, big dog? Don't look away now. Don't look away now. Don't look away now. Don't get shy now.
Drake really showed up like some mob boss wannabe, trying to flex with weapons in a video, but it blew up in his face. Fans are dragging him online, saying he's doing the most with this tough guy image. All while he's in court crying about his label, blaming them for his flop and claiming they ruined his rep. But it's Pusha T who came at Drake the hardest. Everyone's been buzzing about the new Clips album, the first in 15 years, and yes, Kendrick is on it. Def Jam allegedly tried to pressure Pusha to cut Kendrick off the project, but he stood his ground. Now, PCIA is dropping bombshells about who was really trying to sabotage Clips' comeback. And guess what? It all leads back to Drake and those weird threats to Kendrick. The album Let God Sort Him Out just dropped, and right before it did, Pusha T sent a clear message. On Instagram, he posted, "Can't nothing stop this. Great. The lies are very telling. The people will never believe these smear campaigns." He didn't say names, but fans instantly connected the dots, especially since right before that post, word got out that Drake was paying people who never even heard the album to trash it online. Wild.
Y'all favorite Twitter pages are being paid to slander clips the week of their album release. Man, I've been waiting to have a conversation with y'all like this for a little minute. So yesterday, Kirko, a famous page on Twitter, posted Clip's upcoming album, Let God Sort 'Em Out, has reportedly surfaced online days before its official release. And they turned their comments off. Now, Kirko has posted like when songs leak and stuff, but usually when big albums are about to come out or albums that people are talking about, like Hurry Up Tomorrow, for instance, The Weeknd's album leaked a couple days before the album dropped, or some songs leaked at least. And they didn't necessarily post it, so I did find that weird.
For the past few weeks, Drake's diehard fans have been swarming social media, dragging Clips like it's their full-time job. They're calling Clips washed up and saying nobody cares about their new album. One viral post even said, "Clips should be ashamed for dropping the worst rap album I've ever heard." And of course, someone had to point out, these dudes are almost 50. Like that means they can't drop heat. Another person straight up said, "I'm gonna laugh watching people try to hype this album. Clips is struggling. They should worry about making good music instead of name-dropping bigger rappers just to get clicks. Ouch." They even clowned the album's timing, saying it would get buried by new releases from Justin Bieber, Travis Scott, and Drake headlining Wireless Fest all weekend. Somebody wrote, "That's the opposite of a coke high for them." Yikes. But the hate didn't stop there. Drake's fans also fired back hard at Pusha T for that IG post about a smear campaign. One person on X said, "There is no smear campaign. No one gives a damn about Clips in real life. Hasn't in 4 presidents." They even mocked Clips' tour, saying, "They're about to hit the road and can't even sell 20% of their seats." According to them, Clips isn't being sabotaged. They're just getting a reality check. Still, Pusha's fans are clapping back too. They say all this loud talk from Drake's camp is just to distract people from what's really going on. Drake just dropped another cringe-worthy diss track and music video. Yup, his new single, What Did I Miss, hit over the weekend and the drama only got messier. Drake is back at it again, crying about folks switching sides during his beef with Kendrick Lamar. And get this, he dropped his new track exactly 1 year after Kendrick's Not Like Us. So, yeah, he clearly tried to make a statement. But instead of shaking the game, the whole thing flopped hard. Fans instantly started roasting him online for acting like the victim. Again, people were not holding back. One user on X said, "Drake always playing victim. He's the fake one. Trying to control your friends didn't work out, huh?" Another person chimed in, "Drake got that martyr complex. Even in What Did I Miss, it's all poor me. Kendrick already exposed him in Euphoria. He's not built for real rap beef." And then there's the messy legal stuff. Drake's in court, suing his own label, claiming they stood by while Kendrick defamed him with those creepy accusations in the diss tracks. But here's where it gets real strange. In What Did I Miss, Drake drops a line saying, "She might decide to say no to me now, but say yes to me later." Like, what? Everyone knows what that sounds like, and people were shocked that someone dealing with those kinds of allegations would even think to rap that. The track already had folks cringing, but the music video took it to a whole new level of embarrassing. People online were straight up clowning him, saying he looked like he was in his own comedy sketch. After everything, the beef, the backlash, the weird lyrics, Drake's big comeback track ended up making things way worse. So the music video? Wild. It shows Drake standing in his backyard, surrounded by real guns, trying to serve up some kind of tough guy image. But fans are not buying it. Instead of looking dangerous, people say he came off looking mad corny, like who is he even trying to be? The first one to call it out loud was Charlemagne on The Breakfast Club, who straight up said Drake was cosplaying a shooter. That's a savage take.
But, I mean, y'all don't think it's extremely corny for him to be in a video surrounded by guns?
No, absolutely it is.
Like, what?
Yeah, for sure.
Y'all don't think that's extremely corny?
Yeah. But the song, honestly, it just sounds like another good hit Drake. I mean, a good Drake hit. It don't really sound like...
I don't even know if it's. I don't even know if it's.
I wouldn't
You know
say.
what I mean?
I wouldn't
Like,
say a hit.
It don't.
It's a cool
I mean,
record.
like another Drake, you know,
Like a
single.
vibe.
Like, okay, like a vibey single.
Why
like,
is he in the video surrounded by guns? What is the point?
Because,
you want to go to war because you got the rap battle?
Said nobody cared till they in front of your tombstone. So yeah,
I'm not mad at it. I just don't love the record. It's a cool record.
Why
I
is
just don't
he
love
in
it.
the video surrounded by guns?
It was a reference to something, but I can look up the
Aubrey
reference.
Gun Graham?
Man, he really
AR Graham now. That's who you are now. You're AR Graham. This record would make a lot of sense if Drake hadn't said nothing for the last year and a half. If he hadn't said a word, no lawsuits, no nothing, hadn't said nothing, he just came out, what did I miss? I didn't know what y'all was on. Like, that would make more sense. But you in the video surrounded by a bunch of choppers.
Now, of course, Drake's fans are rushing in to defend him, saying everyone missed the symbolism. According to them, the guns weren't about aggression. They were pointed at Drake. He's standing between two snipers, both locked on him with every weapon aimed his way. The message? He's under attack from all sides and still standing tall, still on business. That's how his supporters are spinning it. But not everybody's buying that story. A bunch of people online are saying this is just Drake poking the bear again, and that bear is Kendrick Lamar. One person on X said, Kendrick is a street dude. He's really about that life. Drake's not. He's out here pretending, crying to the court about feeling threatened while flashing guns and talking slick. And it gets worse. Another user added, middle of a lawsuit, rapping about revenge, standing around guns, then hopping on live stream talking like he's ready to hurt somebody. Drake's lost the plot. That live stream moment they're talking about? Drake was driving a big box truck while teasing his upcoming album, Iceman. And when some teens on bikes yelled the B word at him, quoting, "Not like us," he snapped. He cursed back and warned them, straight up, they could get shot. Fans were like, what is happening?
So where? So what then? So what then, big dog? Don't look away now. Don't look away now. Don't look away now. Don't get shy now. We'll fold that up right now. Nerd. Stop it. Stop it, brother. Yeah. Blessings. Blessings. Big up yourself.
But let's be real, like always with Drake, nothing he said actually sounded threatening. It came off more dramatic than dangerous. Also, this all went down in Toronto, which explains why Drake was using that thick Toronto accent like he was starring in a movie or something. But forget all that, let's get back to Pusha T, because he's not letting up at all. Just days before the new Clips album dropped, Pusha sat down with GQ and went straight at Drake's neck. Again, when asked about Drake suing Universal over Not Like Us, Push didn't hold back. He said, "I don't rate him no more." The suing thing? That's bigger than rap. I just don't rate you. That hit hard. Push made it clear. Once you start running to the lawyers over a diss track, the whole battle loses its edge. It cheapens the art, he said. People started asking real questions like, what's even the point of rap beef if you're gonna sue over it? And then it got even messier. Push revealed that Def Jam tried to get him to tell Kendrick to tone down his verse on the Clips track Chains and Whips. They were scared Kendrick might come at Drake again.
And for them to have, you know, the energy of like, of a censorship level of energy, like, no, we're not putting this out. You stop, you know, talking to my management team.
But Pusha wasn't having it. He refused to censor anything. That's when Def Jam told him to just cut the whole song from the album. And again, he said no. So what did Def Jam do? They dropped Clips entirely. That move pushed Clips to lock in a new distribution deal with Roc Nation, and Push opened up about the whole saga in a sit-down with Elliott Wilson. He said Def Jam started nitpicking every little part of Kendrick's verse and put heavy pressure on Clips to kill the track. And just like that, it was giving flashbacks to 2018, when Push dropped The Story of Adidon and exposed Drake for hiding his kid.
And for me, at that point, I was like, man, this shit reminds me too much of 2018. And reminds me of everything that happened, you know, within that year and a half.
Your battle with Drake.
Right, but I mean, just the censorship of it and the things that, you know, were stopped and halted and verses and so on and so forth. I was like, oh, this is a real situation.
In another recent interview with Pop, Pusha T opened up about what went down after he dropped The Story of Adidon. And it's wild. He said a bunch of his tracks suddenly got shelved, like he was being punished behind the scenes for exposing Drake back then.
Adidon, or whatever. There were quite a few records that were stopped, put a, you know, like, yo, we're not doing this, or was, you know, just basically shelved. And it
Your
was
verses,
yeah,
for
my
instance, on the
verses.
Pop Smoke album.
Yeah, Pop Smoke. But the telling part was when they would get the lyrics wrong.
Oh, sure.
So it one day I forget what song this was, but there was a Pop Smoke song that definitely was that had bars in it.
By you.
But then there was another that didn't, and they thought it did. And I was like, wait a minute, what is going on here? Because, you know, you're interpreting something totally wrong.
The industry moved real funny after that. Push said he tried to let it go and focus on his next moves. But then came the Chains and Whips situation. When Def Jam started pulling the same shady moves again, that's when he knew, this time he had to stand his ground. According to Push, the label came up with a weak excuse to cut Chains and Whips from the album. They told him it was because he used the phrase Trump card, and they didn't want any problems with Trump. But Push wasn't buying it. He called it out as straight up nonsense. He believes the real reason was simple. They were trying to protect Drake. They didn't want two of his biggest rivals, Kendrick and Pusha, teaming up on a record. That's when it all started to make sense.
In your mind, they were being overly sensitive about you rapping about another artist signed to that label. Drake, a huge artist under the Universal banner. And they were sort of playing referee. He was getting Shea Gilgeous-Alexander calls, is what you're saying.
For sure. For sure.
And at that point, you said, all right, I'll keep it moving. You put out Story of Adidon on SoundCloud instead of commercially. The Pop Smoke
that happened.
Removed.
The verses get removed. A couple verses get removed. I move on.
Right.
I just move on musically.
Right.
You know.
So then, fast forward to 2024.
Fast forward, yeah.
Drake and Kendrick do their thing.
Boom.
Drake files a lawsuit.
Boom.
You play them your new song with a Kendrick verse on it.
Boom.
How do they react?
Now, there was nothing even to be, you know, they didn't like the optics. In my opinion, they didn't like the optics.
Two Drake foes teaming up.
Right.
Yeah. Is there a line they pinpointed?
You know,
censor?
They pinpointed a line where the phrase Trump card was used. Right? So stupid. Like, it's like the phrase Trump card was used, and they said that they didn't want any problem with Trump.
Now, Push did try to downplay it a bit, saying Chains and Whips isn't really about Drake. But come on, the title alone is throwing shots. Look back at Drake's verse on Churchill Downs with Jack Harlow. He says, "All I hear is plug talk coming from middlemen," which is aimed at Pusha. Then he adds, "All I hear is tall tales coming from little men. Whips and chains like a dominatrix." That's a 2-for-1 shot at both Kendrick and Push. So yeah, calling the Clips X Kendrick track Chains and Whips? That's not random. That's a straight response and everybody sees it. Now here's where things really start getting ugly. Because after Chains and Whips finally dropped, insiders started whispering that Drake's camp went into full panic mode. Word on the street is that OVO reached out to a few big-name playlist curators and media outlets trying to block the song from getting prime placement. That's right, behind-the-scenes moves to bury the collab before it even had a chance to breathe. Meanwhile, fans were eating it up. Social media was flooded with breakdowns of Kendrick's verse, and people were pointing out how slick he was with the wordplay. He never named Drake, but the message? Loud and clear. He rapped about industry snakes, hidden agendas, and people who rap like they read it off a teleprompter. Everyone knew exactly who that was aimed at. And Pusha? He came in just as cold. He didn't drop names either, but said lines like, "You ducked the fade and ran to court, now you lawyered up for clout." Ouch! Fans went wild, saying that was a direct shot at Drake's lawsuits and his whole victim act. The energy was ruthless. To make it even messier, clips from the song started going viral on TikTok, with fans remixing Drake's older bars and comparing them to Kendrick and Push's new lines. The contrast was brutal. People were saying Drake's pen game just doesn't hit the same anymore. And just like that, Chains and Whips turned into more than a song. It became a moment, a full-on checkmate move in this never-ending chess match. And the internet eating up every second of it. With Chains and Whips catching fire, the pressure started closing in on Drake. And fans noticed he was moving real different. Just days after the track exploded online, Drake quietly unfollowed a bunch of industry folks, including some names tied to Rock Nation. People instantly clocked it as a sign. He's feeling cornered and now he's cutting ties. But that's not even the wildest part. A known music insider leaked DMs allegedly showing OVO affiliates trying to bribe influencers to downplay the Clips X Kendrick collab. Screenshots popped up showing offers of cash, concert access, even brand deals, all in exchange for bad reviews or radio silence. If true, this is next-level desperation, and fans weren't letting it slide. One viral post read, "Drake trying to bury a song instead of responding to it? That's not rap, that's PR panic." Another said, "He used to be untouchable. Now he's scared of two legends linking up?" The shift in energy was loud. Even longtime Drake supporters were starting to ask if he'd finally met his match, not just lyrically, but strategically. Meanwhile, Pusha T hopped on IG Live, grinning ear to ear, vibing to Chains and Whips with no caption. He didn't have to say a word. The shade spoke for itself. And Kendrick, he's been silent. But that silence? Deafening. Fans are convinced he's letting the music speak and watching Drake spiral in real time. One comment summed it up perfectly. Drake's playing defense. Kendrick and Push already won. Now the whole game feels flipped, and it's Drake who looks like he's on the ropes. And now the big question everyone's asking, what's Drake gonna do next? Drake's gearing up to drop his next project, Iceman. And while there's still no official release date, he's been hinting hard on socials that it's dropping this year for sure. But after everything that's gone down, the lawsuits, the diss tracks, the meltdown moments, fans are wondering what kind of energy he's really bringing this time. Last year, after Kendrick bodied him in that beef, Drake acted like he was unbothered. He even dropped that joint project with Party Next Door, leaning back into his smooth R&B rap zone. People thought maybe he finally figured it out. Just stay in your melodic lane and leave the street talk alone. But now, he's rapping surrounded by guns, throwing out shady threats, and teasing that this next album won't be for the faint of heart. On Instagram, he posted some cryptic stuff saying, "I grew up non-confrontational and always treated this game as a sport where my pen won gold. But these days, the podium has been hard for all of us to ignore. I understand this next chapter may leave you feeling uneasy, but I hope you see my honesty as clarity, not charity. That answers some questions, especially about the unanswered texts you've been sending me." So yeah, Sounds like Iceman is gonna be cold, but also messy. Will it be a comeback or another self-own? Only time will tell. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more juicy updates. And make sure to tap that next video on the screen to keep the celebrity drama going strong. You don't want to miss what's coming next. See you in the next one.